Welcome, curious minds, to another deep dive. Today we're uncovering something pretty big happening almost silently in business tech. It's changing how software gets to us, how it's used, and it affects pretty much every digital service you touch, maybe without you even noticing. We're taking a deep dive into the booming global application service provider hosting services market. ASPs for short, our mission. Not just throwing numbers at you, but really getting into why it's exploding, where the action is, and what it all means for businesses trying to keep up digitally. And all the insights we're discussing today, they come from a really detailed report by Cognitive Market Research. They've mapped this out across continents, major economies. It's quite thorough. Okay,
Yep.
let's unpack this a bit because the headline figures are, honestly, they're eye-opening. This market, right, valued at about $17.5 billion, maybe a bit more, back in 2021. It's projected to surge, get this, to nearly $90 billion by 2033. That's $89,854.7 million to be exact. That means a compound annual growth rate, a CAGR of over 14.5%.
Yeah, 14.562%.
Well,
That's not just steady growth. That's
Yeah.
huge.
Huge transformation, really.
Exactly. And what's fascinating, as you said, is what this growth actually signifies. It's a major shift. We're moving away from that old model,
Yeah.
Companies owning servers, managing complex software stacks in-house.
Right, the traditional way.
To a model where software is delivered as a service. It really becomes about access, not needing to own the underlying infrastructure. Businesses are basically subscribing to applications that are hosted and managed by experts elsewhere. Takes a lot off their plate.
Access over ownership. I
Yeah.
like that. It puts it very clearly. So, okay, beyond just the sheer scale of it, what specific things are pushing this? Why are companies ditching the old way so fast?
Well, the report points to a few key drivers. First off, cloud adoption. That's foundational.
And get away from the cloud.
No, ASPs really leverage the cloud to deliver these services effectively. Second, you've got digitization just spreading everywhere across all industries. More businesses need specialized software for automation, for everything, but they often don't have the giant IT departments to manage it all.
Makes sense.
And finally, there's this huge demand for scalability and flexibility. ASPs let businesses scale up or down pretty easily without massive upfront costs.
So it makes advanced tools more accessible, maybe even for smaller players.
Exactly. It sort of democratizes access.
Okay, that paints a good picture of the why. Let's talk about the where. North America seems like the big anchor here. Over $6.5 billion back in 2021, projected to jump to over $31.7 billion by 2033. That's massive.
It is. North America is definitely a mature market, but also one that adopts new tech very quickly. And within that, yeah, the United States is the powerhouse.
Really dominant.
Oh, definitely. Projected to account for, over $25 billion of that $31.7 billion total by 2033. It just shows how deeply embedded outsourced apps are there, especially in big enterprise sectors.
And Canada and Mexico are growing too.
Yep. Significant momentum there as well. It's really a continent-wide trend.
Okay, let's hop across the pond. Europe, also a major player, right? Expected to hit almost $18 billion by 2033.
That's right. Up from around $3.7 billion in 2021. Still very strong growth.
And Germany stands out there.
Yes, Germany is a leader in Europe, but you see strong growth across the board. UK, France, Italy, Spain, they're all seeing multifold increases.
So what's driving it in Europe specifically? Different industries.
A lot of it is the push for digital transformation, particularly in sectors like manufacturing, think Germany, but also finance and healthcare. Take manufacturing, complex supply chains. ASPs are perfect for specialized software like ERP or supply chain management. You get the high uptime, the constant updates without the headache of managing it yourself.
Right, outsourced expertise.
Exactly. It underlines that broad shift across the continent towards these efficient outsourced services.
Now, this is where it gets really interesting, maybe the most aggressive growth. Asia Pacific. We're talking about going from around $4.6 billion in 2021
Yeah.
to, wow, over $26.2 billion by 2033. And the report says this region has the highest CAGR globally, over 15.5%.
Yeah, 15.503%. It's outpacing everyone else in terms of growth rate.
So why? What's the secret sauce in Asia Pacific?
Well, the report suggests a combination of things. Strong digital transformation efforts, obviously, massive tech investments, but also this idea of leapfrogging. Many emerging economies there didn't have the same legacy IT infrastructure as, say, North America or parts of Europe.
Ah, so they can jump straight to the latest tech.
Kind of, yeah. They're skipping some of the older models, going directly to mobile-first, cloud-based applications. Think China, India, Japan, South Korea revenues are just exploding. ASPs are incredibly attractive because they allow for rapid, scalable digital adoption without that baggage of old systems. It fuels growth in new businesses and serves rapidly expanding digital populations.
That leapfrogging concept really clicks. It explains that acceleration. Okay, but the momentum doesn't stop there, right? South America.
Another high-growth region, absolutely.
Right.
Projected to jump from just over $1.1 billion to over $6 billion by 2033. That's another strong CAGR, nearly 15%.
And Brazil is leading the pack there.
Brazil's the giant, expected to hit over $2.2 billion itself. But the report shows countries like Argentina, Colombia, Peru, Chile, they're all seeing significant increases too, some tripling, even quadrupling their market value.
So a broad regional push.
Definitely. It shows a real commitment across South America to adopt these scalable IT solutions. They're modernizing business operations, expanding their digital economies.
Okay, heading over to the Middle East now. Also strong expansion. Under $1 billion in 2021 to a projected $4.5 billion.
Correct. And Saudi Arabia is noted as leading that charge.
Is that mainly tied to their big economic diversification plans, moving beyond oil?
Absolutely. That's a huge factor. What's really telling is that the report shows every country listed in the Middle East region has strong double-digit growth. It directly mirrors that strategic push towards tech, innovation, digital services. They're building smart cities, tech hubs.
And ASPs fit right into that.
Perfectly. They allow for rapid deployment of necessary software without the massive upfront capital investment.
Makes sense. And finally, Africa, also gaining speed rapidly.
Yep, growing from around $668 million to a projected $3.4 billion by 2033. It's a significant CAGR.
Nigeria and South Africa mentioned as key players.
That's right. South Africa, for instance, is projected to reach almost $1.3 billion on its own.
So what's driving it in Africa? Startups, internet access.
All of the above. Expanding internet penetration is key, a rising number of startups, definitely, and just a general push for digital inclusion. ASPs are crucial for SMEs, small and medium enterprises in these markets. They offer professional tools that might otherwise be completely out of reach because of cost or complexity.
It really underscores how this ASP model is becoming truly global. It's not just a Western thing anymore.
Not at all. It's everywhere.
Okay, so let's quickly recap this deep dive then. We've looked at the global application service provider hosting market, and we've seen this incredible global story unfold. From about $17.5 billion in 2021 to a projection of nearly $90 billion by 2033. That massive growth, fueled by cloud adoption, digitization everywhere, and just this relentless demand for IT infrastructure that's flexible, scalable, and crucially, outsourced. We saw North America staying dominant, heading towards $32 billion, Europe expanding significantly, nearing $18 billion, but Asia-Pacific is the speedster, highest growth rate, soaring past $26 billion. Really shows the power of those digitizing economies. And we can't forget the strong momentum elsewhere. South America reaching over $6 billion, the Middle East hitting $4.5 billion, and Africa growing fast towards $3.5 billion by 2033. It's truly a worldwide phenomenon.
It really is. And if you connect this back to that bigger picture we touched on, this huge shift towards ASPs, it's more than just businesses outsourcing IT to save money, right? It's fundamentally changing what ownership means versus access in the whole digital economy.
Right, that access versus ownership point again.
Yeah. Companies are moving from owning complex stuff to just subscribing to it, like a utility. And this raises a really important question, I think, for the future. As this shift to outsourced services keeps accelerating, how is it going to impact innovation? What about competition? Will it truly democratize access to top-tier tech for everyone? Or could it maybe create new kinds of dependencies, maybe shift the power dynamics in the tech world in unexpected ways? Something to think about.
Definitely some powerful questions to ponder.
Yeah.
A lot to mull over there. Well, thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the really fascinating world of ASP hosting services. We hope you feel you've got a clear picture now of this vital, fast-moving industry. Keep exploring, keep asking questions. We'll catch you on the next deep dive as we continue to explore our rapidly evolving digital landscape. Okay, think about just the relentless pace of change for businesses today. It's this constant challenge, isn't it? Keeping up with tech, managing costs, making sure everything's secure, digitally speaking.
It is, and it's getting more complex, not less, demanding, smarter ways to handle it all.
Exactly. smarter, more agile solutions.
Which is why we're doing this deep dive today. We're looking into the application service provider hosting services market, ASP hosting,
Right.
because it's actually playing this really crucial role, helping companies shift to operations that are more scalable, secure, and importantly, cost-effective.
So our mission here is to basically give you the essentials. We
Yeah.
want to unpack the key things driving its growth, but also the challenges, the hurdles it faces. And then look at the exciting trends shaping its future. Think of
Okay.
it as your shortcut to understanding this really pivotal industry.
Yeah, a quick way to get up to speed.
And just so everyone knows, all the insights, everything we're discussing, it's all sourced exclusively from cognitive market research.
That's our foundation for today.
So yeah, let's explore. There are some surprising facts and critical insights in here.
And we'll try to connect those dots, give you the context on why these trends actually matter for businesses and, their digital future.
Okay, let's unpack this. Why? Why is the ASP hosting services market seeing such a sharp rise in demand right now? What's really behind it?
Well, the first really big driver is the demand for cost-effective IT solutions. It's pretty straightforward.
Right.
Organizations, and this is especially true for small and medium businesses, SMEs, they're turning to ASP hosting to avoid those really hefty upfront investments.
You mean like buying all the hardware, the software licenses, hiring the IT staff?
Exactly, all of that, instead of owning it all.
They rent it, essentially. Access over ownership.
Pretty much. And the subscription model is key here.
Ah, the pricing.
Yeah, that subscription-based pricing, it offers flexibility, helps companies control their budgets, without sacrificing performance.
So it kind of democratizes access to these powerful tools, doesn't it?
It really does. It levels the playing field, makes sophisticated IT reachable for businesses that maybe couldn't afford it otherwise. It enables a much broader digital transformation.
Okay, that makes sense. Then driver number 2.
That would be the growing adoption of cloud-based applications.
Ah, the cloud.
Yeah. ASP hosting often acts as a sort of bridge.
A bridge. How so?
Well, it helps businesses move from their older, maybe legacy systems towards a full cloud setup. It smooths out that digital transformation journey.
I see. So it's not always an all or nothing jump.
Not necessarily. And this approach brings clear benefits like centralized access, easier scalability, and strong disaster recovery options, too. For many, it's just the logical next step.
Here's where it gets really interesting.
What?
Which industries are finding this particularly attractive? Is it across the board, or are there standouts?
Well, the research points to specific sectors. Think healthcare, education, finance, and retail.
Okay, why them specifically?
For these industries, reliability and flexibility are just paramount, maybe even more critical than for others. ASP hosting really hits those points well.
Got it. Reliability, flexibility. And the third driver?
That's the increasing need for centralized management and data security.
Especially now, right? With remote work, distributed teams.
Precisely. In that kind of environment, having centralized control over applications is, well, it's become vital.
And ASPs help with that.
They do. They provide these secure hosting environments. That means consistent updates, strong data protection, and, importantly, help with compliance. Think GDPR, HIPAA.
Ah, the regulations. That's huge.
Absolutely. Plus, things like regular backups, managing the software lifecycle, it all becomes much more streamlined, which, significantly cuts the risk of data breaches. It enhances overall control for the business.
What's fascinating here, as you say that, is how these services provide not just security tech, but almost a layer of governance. Something that can be really tough for businesses to build themselves.
Exactly. It's like getting expertise bundled in. Security, compliance, it's built into the service.
Okay. So the benefits are definitely clear. But it can't all be smooth sailing, right? This market must have its challenges. What are the big concerns, the things that might slow down adoption?
Oh, absolutely. There are hurdles. One of the most significant is definitely around data privacy and control concerns.
Handing over sensitive data.
Exactly. And trusting a third party with your critical business information, that raises red flags for a lot of organizations.
And I imagine that's especially true in those tightly regulated sectors you mentioned. Defense, finance, healthcare.
Definitely. There are real worries there about, data ownership, the risk of misuse. It requires a fundamental level of trust.
Yeah, that's a big leap of faith.
It really raises an important question, doesn't it? How do organizations weigh those operational benefits, the cost savings, against that need for fundamental trust when handing over critical data? Where's the balance?
A tricky calculation. What else? What other restraints?
Another one is limited customization. and sometimes integration difficulties.
Ah, so the off-the-shelf nature can be a problem.
Sometimes. While ASP-hosted services are efficient, they might not always bend to fit, let's say, unique workflows or very specialized internal systems.
Right, if you got something really bespoke.
Exactly. For businesses relying on highly customized software or maybe deeply embedded legacy systems, trying to integrate ASP-hosted applications can get complex and time-consuming and costly.
You can just picture the friction, can't you? Trying to mesh a standard solution with a system that's evolved organically over years.
Yeah.
That's a potential showstopper.
It can be, yes. And then the third major restraint is performance and downtime risks.
Ah, reliability again, but from the negative side.
Right. You are inherently reliant on that third-party provider's uptime, their performance.
And if they have issues,
If they have downtime or even just latency problems, it can severely impact your mission-critical applications.
which means real consequences for the business,
Yeah.
right? Lost revenue, lost productivity.
Absolutely. Even short disruptions can hit the bottom line hard.
So connecting this back, it really underlines the intense pressure on these ASP providers. They have to deliver near-perfect reliability.
They really do. Their clients' entire operations can hinge on it. It's not just a nice to have, it's fundamental. That forces them to invest heavily in resilience, in monitoring.
Okay, so we've got the drivers, we've got the challenges.
Yeah.
Knowing all this, let's pivot to the future. Where is ASP hosting headed? What are the key trends shaping things?
Well, one major trend the research highlights is a shift toward hybrid ASP models.
Hybrid, meaning
Meaning enterprises aren't just choosing between on-premise and cloud anymore. They're combining both strategically.
so best of both worlds, potentially.
But that's the idea. Keep your really sensitive data in-house under your direct control while you host less critical applications externally with the ASP. It offers that balance of security and flexibility.
And presumably supports a smoother, more controlled move towards cloud overall.
Exactly. It's a more gradual, manageable transition for many.
And what's fascinating there is how that directly tackles those data privacy concerns we talked about.
Precisely. It lets businesses segment their data, keep the crown jewels close, leverage the cloud for other things. It directly addresses that trust issue for some functions.
Makes sense. What's the next trend?
Vertical-specific application hosting.
Meaning tailoring services for specific industries.
Exactly. Providers are increasingly customizing their services to meet the precise needs of certain sectors.
Can you give some examples?
Sure. Things like specialized telemedicine platforms for healthcare or specific CRM tools, customer relationship management designed just for real estate, or maybe ERP systems enterprise resource planning built for manufacturing workflows.
Okay, so they're getting much more specialized.
Yes, they're customizing the offerings to really enhance workflow compliance, boost performance, and meet those specific industry standards.
That sounds like a really powerful evolution, moving beyond just generic hosting to deeply integrated sector-specific tools, much more surgical.
It is. It's becoming much more targeted. And finally, a huge trend is the integration of AI and automation technologies.
AI, of course.
It's really surging within ASP platforms,
Yeah.
and it's revolutionizing how applications perform and how they scale.
So what does that look like in practice? AI-powered hosting?
Think features like advanced analytics built in, predictive maintenance to prevent issues, automated monitoring that's much smarter.
Okay.
These things enable, say, better self-service portals for users, much faster detection of potential issues, and even proactive optimization of resources, like the system adjusts itself.
And the benefit there is twofold, right? Better efficiency.
Better operational efficiency, definitely, for the provider and the client. But it also really elevates the overall user experience. It's moving beyond just keeping the lights on.
So if we connect that to the bigger picture, AI is essentially transforming ASPs from just being like reactive support into being proactive, intelligent partners for the business.
That's a great way to put it. Imagine your hosted applications almost managing themselves, anticipating needs before you even spot them. That's the direction it's heading.
Wow. Okay, so to wrap this up then, the application service provider hosting services market, it's clearly evolving fast, right? Responding to what modern businesses really need.
Definitely. And while those concerns we discussed, privacy, integration, reliability, they're still there. They haven't disappeared.
Right.
The sector is definitely gaining serious momentum, driven by that cost efficiency, cloud compatibility, and these tech-forward innovations like AI and specialization.
Yeah, it feels like ASP hosting isn't just a utility service anymore. It's becoming a real strategic enabler for digital transformation.
Agreed. From hybrid models giving control to AI making things smarter.
So maybe the final thought for you listening is, how might these trends in ASP hosting shape the digital strategy of your organization? Or maybe the next industry you look into? Something to think about.
And just one last reminder that all the insights we've discussed today were sourced from Cognitive Market Research.